In this bulletin, 23 COVID-19 cases recorded yesterday. Infected persons drinking grog with others. And Fijians urged to a sub-quarantine facility near them. And like Fiji, 41 cases of COVID-19 were announced yesterday, with 18 tested positive on Saturday, with an additional 23 new cases yesterday. Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Dr. James Fong says 9 cases were recorded in Rere, 5 in the Wela cluster, 1 from the Monikoso cluster, 1 from the Navy cluster, and 2 from Korodiri in Nandi. Dr. Fong says the 2 in Nandi are linked to each other and are from the Korodiri settlement near Nawaka village that is now under lockdown.
The 23 cases today are as follows. 15 are part of the Navy cluster. It includes one who lives in Nantonumai near Lami, and 3 along Kalsa. 7 are part of the Waila cluster, and 1 is part of the Nandali cluster.
Dr. Fong says they have also been able to confirm that the 46 cases announced on Friday were linked to known clusters.
The 3 that were under investigation are now known to be from the Navy cluster. Now, this is reassuring in that the cases are all coming from lockdown and screening areas. And our tests that are coming from non-lockdown and non-screening areas remain negative.
The Ministry of Health has revealed that a number of infected individuals have reported that they have been drinking cover with others in their clusters over the past few weeks. Permanent Secretary Dr. James Fong says drinking grog is becoming a significant factor in the spread of COVID-19. Dr. Fong adds, while cover is part of our culture and social life, people must refrain from sharing grog bowls with others from outside their household during this pandemic.
Grog drinking involves close contact with others, drinking out of a common cup, which create perfect conditions for the virus to spread from one person to another.
Dr. James Fong is also pleading with the public to accept the quarantine facilities in or near their communities. He says this is a fundamental part of their strategy to contain COVID-19. He also called on Fijians to help them in the effort as they work to eliminate this virus.
We need to create more quarantine facilities and lockdown areas. I ask that the general public help us by accepting these facilities in or near their communities, and understand that these facilities are as safe as is humanly possible. We have reviewed our quarantine protocols and procedures and mitigated lessons learned from past experiences. Quarantine and isolation facilities are a necessary part of our COVID-19 battle, and we actually need them a lot.
Assistant Minister for Education Joseph Nityanan has been relieved of his position. He remains a member of Parliament. This is after Nand was last week seen indulging in a cover session during the virtual parliamentary session. While Nand remains a member of Parliament, Attorney General and Fiji First General Secretary Ayad Syed Qayyum says in adhering with Saturday's statement by the Prime Minister and as per the Fiji First government's strong stance on adhering to strict COVID-19 safe protocols and maintaining high standards of parliamentary behavior, the Prime Minister Wrangim Bainimarama has taken this action. Syed Qayyum says while it is unfortunate for Nand, Fiji First has to maintain and be seen to maintain strict control of COVID-safe measures by every Fijian citizen, especially one of its own party members. He says the party has demonstrated in the past that implementation of its principles must begin at home. Syed Qayyum says they do not discriminate and as per our party policy, we treat every Fijian equally. The party says it has spoken to Nand and he understands the principal stance of Fiji First. Businesses can't go back to operating in the usual manner as they'll now have to abide by the minimum COVID-safe protocols. Businesses in Nandi and Lautoka can operate except for high-risk businesses. The Ministry of Commerce, Trade, Tourism and Transport is working on protocols to allow high-risk businesses to open. For the Lami Suwa Nosori Containment Zone, only essential and approved businesses are allowed to operate. Permanent Secretary Shaheen Ali says only the North and Maritime Island businesses can all operate.
For fellow Fijians living in the North and Maritime Islands, we have now eased restrictions and are allowing all businesses, including high-risk businesses, to operate. Of course, this needs to be done in a COVID-safe manner. Our containment measures have been effective enough to keep Vanuatu and our maritime islands safe. However, having no recorded cases should not allow us to become complacent.
The further easing of restriction around the country is largely dependent on the number of people being vaccinated. Head of COVID-19 Vaccination Task Force, Dr. Rachel Davey, says due to the increasing number of cases, the ministry has seen more people willing to get the jab. Dr. Davey says they will soon be expanding their vaccination reach as well.
As we progress and we get more vaccines and we've got accessibility by planes, etc., and our staff are trained on all the various aspects of this particular vaccine rollout, we intend to go out.
Prime Minister Vorengeng Bainimarama says they will also be presenting a legislation in Parliament to change enforcement of the COVID emergency. He says as soon as Parliament sits next and once passed, the legislation will allow for on-the-spot payment of fines for not wearing masks and businesses not adhering to COVID-safe measures. Bainimarama says it will seek to make businesses equally accountable for non-compliance by employees and customers. This will mean that if any business owners allow patrons into the establishment without masks would be penalized, and after more than 3 violations, businesses may be shut down. Up ahead, struggles motivate Olympian. And Johnson sparks Sharks. Stay with us. Welcome back. Olympic gold medalist Chasaver Malua is working hard to provide the best for his wife and kids.
For me, now I have a family and it's been 4 years. I want what's best for my kids as they are young. I don't want them to go through what I faced and went through as a kid.
The KBT Sealtails fell short against Roan Mazy Cup defending champions Magpies. Indiscipline proved to be one of the contributing factors to the 22-10 loss after 2 yellow cards for the Sealtails. Maika Serulevu and Samuel Deveta were sent off in the first and second half respectively. Senta Inoke Wasuturanga and Malkai Kovekalo scored the Sealtails tries. The Sealtails will face Dirty Reds at 4:30 p.m. this Saturday. Sharks playmaker Sean Johnson returned from a hamstring strain for a memorable 200th NRL appearance, guiding his side to a comfortable 38-10 win over the Titans. Chelsea won the Champions League after beating Manchester City 1-0 yesterday. Cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and the interior of the large islands. Elsewhere, mostly cloudy conditions with possible afternoon showers. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fg. Take care and good morning.